Hey you guys, welcome back to Rocket City Yardstead. So the sun is very bright, but I kind of need this direction to show you the greenhouse area. We did not get to do a whole lot of work out here over the weekend. It ended up raining most of the weekend, and then when it wasn't raining, the ground was really soggy. So what I did get done was get stakes in the ground where the greenhouse goes. I got level line on it. I figured out that our drop from the front of the greenhouse to the back is about 10.5 inches. So we knew there was a drop off. We knew we were going to have to build retaining wall. The original plan was to build a frame out of pressure treated lumber that was the exact dimensions of the greenhouse, and then we were going to build the greenhouse directly on that. I've done some rethinking. My mom and I have discussed it, and I think instead we are going to build a pad that is a little bit bigger than the greenhouse. It's going to get filled with gravel just like we'd planned before, but the greenhouse will actually sit on the gravel and be anchored through the gravel down into the ground. Something really loud buzzing. Sorry, guys. I did want to show you because I think that this is an okay idea, but maybe you guys have thoughts, and this video will probably go up before I'm done, and I can adjust if you think it's bad. But we have this board here that is like the edging, and I think I'm actually going to make that the front of my pad because I want to have as few tripping hazards as possible. So I don't really want to have multiple boards. And so we are going to try and level based on where that board will sit going back. And then inside will get filled with the gravel. So what I need to do, because we've changed this plan, is measure off of those beds over, figure out exactly where I want the pad to go, get new stakes in, new string line, and I guess start digging my trench. Well, you guys, no time lapse because I didn't realize my battery was so low. So it's been charging while I've been working. But I got new stakes put in, I got a string line put in, and I've started digging my first trench. I'm kind of doing this backwards, different. Oh, nuh-uh. I just had a stink bug land on my face, you guys. Anyway, what was I saying? The stink bug really caught me off guard. So I'm sort of doing this backwards to what other people have done from what I've seen online. Everybody seems to start at the back to get built up. And I'm sure if I was better at math and all of that stuff, that's probably the best way to do it. But I have this fixed height here in the front that I want. And so I started up here because I want to get that first board level to it. So here you can see I've been working on digging a trench. I only went about the 8 feet for the first board. We are going to get gravel to put down in there, and so I will have to dig it deep enough to be able to accommodate the gravel. But at least it looks like there's some progress at this point. I need to go confer with my mom on the boards. We still haven't decided if we're going to do the 6 inches tall or the 4 inches tall. So that will determine how wide my trench needs to be. And goodness, y'all, it has gotten hot out here. I think I'm going to have to go change my hairdo and grab a hat. But progress. Well, you guys, you can probably see I'm in different clothes. I had to walk away from the greenhouse pad project. I was informed that starting at the top was not going to work right because down at the back, we have to have multiple layers of boards. And then as we come up the side, we will probably put in tiers. And so I won't have to dig as deeply in certain areas. And I don't really understand it all, but I just had to step away. I think you guys probably all know what that's like. Sometimes it just gets too stressful and frustrating, and I wasn't making any progress. I was just getting more frustrated. And so I stepped away and I worked on some other things. So I thought I would show you what I did get done today. So I got some more tomatoes planted. got a pink bumblebee, a super sweet 100, and a mortgage lifter. And then there is our Cherokee purple. It is looking so beautiful and healthy. Give the flower a jiggle jiggle. So I don't know if you guys remember, I mentioned in, I think, the previous video that I bought a 6-pack of those pink bumblebee tomatoes. And I don't actually have room along this row because all the tomato spots are spoken for. So I had to just kind of decide where to put them. So I'll show you where I put the rest of them. So this trellis here, I planted on either side of the walkway because I figure they're quite small right now. And as they grow, the peas are going to get to the point where it's too hot for them. So look at all those peas on there. But so I thought that made this a good spot. And then same thing over here. I planted 2 tomatoes along with the peas. The last one I planted in between these 2 panels. I've grown tomatoes here in the past, normally 2 tomato plants, and then I use string and tie them up. But when I went to plant this one, this has gotten very weedy here, and I was doing some weeding to be able to plant this tomato. But I wanted to show you guys, look at all of these volunteer basil plants. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's not a basil, but just so many volunteer basils. Those are a blue spice basil. There's many more of them, and I found a couple of volunteer purple basils as well. So currently my plan is let these grow, and then I'm hoping to transplant them into places I actually want them once I have the rest of the garden ready. Also, you guys, look at this. Something nibbled a whole bunch of that strawberry, but this one looks perfect. After a kind of stressful day, I could use a strawberry for my backyard. It's really good. Tiny but delicious. So, thanks for hanging out with me today. I know wasn't anything too exciting, but I just want to be honest when things don't go well or I'm having a hard time. I don't want to make it all look like it's super easy when it's not. Sometimes things are easy and sometimes we just need a little bit of extra finessing and figuring things out. And so that's how this greenhouse space is going to go. But I'm glad you guys were here, and I will see you next time. Bye.